Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to episode 54 of the Trinity podcast. Boom. 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 Big up to each and every single one of you, man. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, it is the time of that week. The Trinity podcast is upon you. It's been a very, very, very busy week at Manchester United. And there was a lot yesterday that was going on the timeline. Roy Keane went to town on Bruno, which just caused, I tweeted about it. Shouldn't have done that, but I had to. And then my whole thread, my thing's still going off now. What a polarizing topic.
I didn't
Bruno
even get
Fernandes. KG didn't even get, well, if you put one thing, you quote retweeted one thing.
Oh, no, I was talking about something else. I didn't get into the Roy Keane situation.
You didn't enter that one. Yes, we're going to talk about that. Yeah. There's been a lot going on social media. That's for sure. Shout out to everyone watching. Smash the like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. And as always, this video is brought to you by Oxford Natural, powered by OWEN Life, and you can get your Optimum supplements. And here's how.
This video is brought to you by Oxford Natural and the Optimum Day and Night capsules. This is the perfect way to take charge of your weight loss journey through Optimum. Scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the video description below to start your journey now. Look at the difference. I mean, just look at KG. The proof's in the pudding.
Yes, big up to each and every single one of you. Of course, we and KG have signed off from the Optimum, that kind of period. We still continue to use it, as do all of us, but there's a good analysis coming your way, guys. It might even be with you already, actually, depending on when that goes out, etc., etc. But it's there, it's in the chamber, and it's coming your way. Kind of like a review of our Optimum journeys as well. So make sure you guys take the time out to check that out. You can scan the QR code. It's still running. It's still running until it's not. Yeah, it's still running until it's not. You can get up to 70% off using code UnitedView of your Optimum supplements as well. And look out for some new products coming from Optimum as well. All natural, of course, with that, supplemented by a good diet and a healthy lifestyle, of course. But don't say we don't bring you the deal. And if you don't want to scan the QR code, you can click the link in the video description below as well. Shout out to Oxford Natural and Gown Life. And remember, man of the matches as well. People have been winning shirts all around the world. Yeah, whenever we have a good game, not good game, but just whenever we win. Because even when we win, sometimes they're not good games, but we still win. And you guys get the chance to win as well. So the man of the match segments are sponsored by Oxford Natural as well. Let's get into this week's show. Anyone want to raise anything on the agenda first?
Yes.
Okay,
yes, go ahead.
Right,
go ahead. I'm ready to. I'm willing to listen. Let's go.
No, I just wanted to. This was a little bit of self-gratifying pat on the back. Really, it was a bit. My feeling on point scoring and all that kind of stuff. But I remember, just Thursday, KG's favorite day of the week, Thursday Flex. We did the morning view. We spoke a little bit about Alejandro Garnacho. And walking down the tunnel after he was substituted, post on social media and saying that it's not really that big of a deal, but it's not good optics. You don't need to tweet or you don't need to post on your story. You got 12 million followers. They don't need to see you being sad in the rain. Walking down the thing and then not coming back to the bench. It's not ideal. And people got very angry. KG, fake drama. Look at this clickbait. Look at you're clickbaiting. Look, piling in on another player. That's what's going on here. Oh, it's not even an issue. It's not even an issue. Well, if it wasn't an issue, then Alejandro Garnacho apparently is apologising to nothing because he's gone to Ruben Amorim the day after, on Thursday, KG's favourite day. Ruben Amorim said, and I quote, "He came to me. It was funny. He came to my office. I did some investigation. He went to the dressing room and changed his clothes because he was wet. He watched the game, not on the bench. And at the end of the game, he was there. He went home. So not an issue, but a big club like Manchester United, everything is important and perception is important, i.e., like Flex and myself were saying on Thursday, it's not good optics. And he's offered to pay for dinner for the whole team, and that's it. So if there was no problem, What's he offering to pay for dinner for? Why is he going to see Ruben Amorim, right? So it's not a big issue, but it's not good optics. We know what it's like at Manchester United. It's done. Problem solved. Doesn't need to be a bigger thing. Accountability, anyone?
Oh, the A word.
Yeah.
We can't hear you, Flex.
Yeah, Flex is muted. Stun silence.
Audio, the A word.
Careful, Owen. Careful, Owen, with the A word. Be careful with the A word. Be careful with the A word.
Again, we're all addressing the A word, Amorim, accountability, whatever you want to say, audio.
Ooh, double A.
Not audio.
There's loads of A's just flying around.
But then, no, let's say this though, because there's a positive in the negative, right? So you've had, and it's probably you harken back to Rashford in this situation, because that's the first one where we had a player that went to war with the manager, right? And the player lost. It looked like the player was winning, and it looked like it was kind of looking kind of Sancho-ish in that regard. But then let's have it right. Garnacho and Rashford decided at the same time that's when they'll drop for the Man City game. Now he's made this thing and quickly realized when he's got home, shit. Like, because he put a picture up later that same night.
Yeah, it was like a few hours later. 3 points. Well done, lads.
Oh, did he?
Well done,
Yeah.
Oh, he done that as well. So when he done a disappointed just walking, when we were like, even that picture, like it's just proving he's just making it by himself. He done another one.
Yeah, I think it was more. I think it was in the morning. I think in the morning after it was like 3 points. Well done, lads. Blah blah blah. And then literally that's when you go. You could have just done that. Could have been the post in the first place.
Guys. He was angry. But
everyone locked in. Everyone there.
Flex is freezing. Flex is freezing a little bit.
I haven't got no timers or tickers or anything, but everything's fully powered apparently. But there's a couple of little gremlins there. We're back in the room. Sorry, carry on.
Still in the room.
Yeah. Sorry, just me. Accountability.
Yeah.
No, but this is the key, right? It's the main thing about this whole situation is Ruben is getting control, and it's like this is his dressing room now, and I like that. That's more impressive, because players are gonna have their flare-ups, but at least managerial respect is starting to build at this club, because they've taken down such a big character in Rashi. You never thought in this world you would see the likes of him leave the dressing room, but it's like this is a new dawn. It's the Ruben era. Yes, points-wise, hasn't been great. But I think culturally, with that return of how he acted, now want to pay for a meal for the whole team, I love to see that.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I
agree.
Positive. Yeah, I agree. I think we needed it to be sorted like this. These are the sorts of things that can turn into something big. And I know some people are critical of Ruben even suggesting, like, you're trying to make it like the Rashford thing, eh? Because it's like, don't bring that up. But no, I think he's saying that when you watch how we said that, it's more like, I know what you lot will try and do. This ain't that. I'm letting you know, like, it's not going to be that. We're not going down that route. I've learnt my lesson. And more importantly, he's basically showing that he does somewhat believe in the player to come back and do the right thing as well, which essentially happened the next morning. And he said as well, you can ask that about that in the next press conference. So he knew he had come to this press conference prepared, ready to have that put to bed, and we move on. And the bit about him paying for the meal, listen, what's crazy is like their level of fines, because they got peas, is a bit wild. Like whole squad of 24 man maybe, I don't know, like including the youngsters who don't really play. But so Aiden Heaven's going to be there getting a free meal, and it's going to be at the top restaurant. Like that meal, how much do you think that? Let's be real. Let's just be real, yeah. How much do you think the meal's going to cost? Just quickly.
More than a single bread, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, literally, they had Garnacho pay for dinner, and Sergio pops his head in and goes, paying for meals. What's going on here?
Is that coming out of?
Yeah. Is that you're at your own pocket?
And then they go, well, we offered to try and pay for the meals ourselves, but you said no, bro.
Yeah.
You didn't want to be undermined. You didn't want to be undermined, did you, mate?
Full on double. He's gonna pay for.
It's so funny. But Sergio pulling up like that for the meal is too funny. Bro.
Yeah, they've gone pay for dinner. He's gone.
No, wait a minute. Wait.
Pay for dinner. Paying.
Wait a minute. Alejandro, wait a minute. Alejandro. It's mad. It's wild. No. But right there, that's gonna cost peas.
No,
Let's
it's
be
gonna
real.
cost him.
We need to
Yeah,
think
and
of
they're gonna
like
drink.
meals, you know, a few bills and that just for like a couple people. Like in
They're
their
gonna order some heavy
restaurants.
shit.
What are you saying? 5 bags?
That's another A though, isn't it? That's
5 bags is-
acknowledgement.
I think 5 bags. Yeah, you're close to 5.
It's probably about
But they're
5
not gonna
bags.
drink. They're not gonna
What?
drink.
No, not gonna drink. No.
Wow, they might.
You
I'll
Like
have
a
a
bottle
drink.
of wine. Oh, hold on.
They might-
Expensive
yeah.
bottle of red.
Yeah, this is what I'm
Expensive
talking
bottle
about.
of
I'm getting
Yeah.
getting a bottle of red, you know, a couple for the table, you know, if there's a lot of you.
Yeah.
You know,
All like a few bottles
Manager,
of red,
coaching
top
staff,
notch.
24 players.
yeah, 24.
Oh,
you get a
no.
couple.
And then-
Yeah, it's going to get
and
It's
expensive.
$5,000. It's
They're proper
$5,000.
Yeah,
It's
More.
they're
5
proper
racks.
pricks,
More.
yeah?
More,
I
yeah.
think if there's pricks in the dressing room, they're gonna be on the 2-starter thing. Like he's playing.
that's what I mean. How many entrees?
Oh,
How many
yeah,
entrees
yeah,
you getting?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because they'll probably make a joke of it as well. I can see Bruno there just adding this in, mate. Alejandro,
Yeah.
just getting this. You just
Yeah.
know that's the kind of, and him just going, oh, fuck's sake, yeah, whatever, man. Just, yeah. Yeah, well, it's been dealt with. And Alejandro offered to pay for the meal. Fair
How
play.
good though? Because one thing we always come here and bitch and moan in it, but it's good to come here with a bit of different energy. What you did see, yes, they went for that team meal, went bowling and all that, but you saw a team of 10 men.
Flex brought it up like 10 times during the match for you, didn't he?
Well, you saw
They
a
were
team of 10 men.
bowling. They were bowling, and they did this. Bowling. They went
But that
bowling.
team energy, I know Flex was mad about it, but that team ethos and fighting for each other, that 10 men,
Nah,
even
bro, we didn't get better,
Casemiro,
bro.
he came on, he was cheering for like they were making clearances in midfield, and they were celebrating clearances from midfield because they
Had the
literally
rails
were
up,
down
bro.
to 10 men.
Had the rails up, bro. They had the rails up at the bowling, bro.
Yeah, I know they had the rails up, but that's not the problem. That's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the
Yeah, I hear you.
team fighting for each other and being together. And yes, the fans can feel whatever they want to feel, but then you can see like they're really trying to connect because they need to. That's the only way they're going to get through this dark moment as a squad.
Yeah, they're trying to. It's just, let's be real. It's just not improving the football. It might improve the attitude of fighting, which is the bit. That's all we got now. The football is like, I don't think. Well, we're not going to improve the football between now and the end of the season. I just can't see it.
Not
It just
this
has to
season.
be. Nah, we just have to see some form of, like you said, that fighting. That was against Ipswich Town, bro. That was Ipswich. And Casemiro's got to come on and go, come on, we can do this. Ipswich. Because that is a true Yeah, shout out Sandra. You know what I'm saying? She's gone viral. Bare names. Bare names that all weren't her name, probably. Mad.
KG went with Janine.
I don't think her name was Janine. I think Sandra's a really good one. I think
Susan.
Sandra's a good
I'm getting
one.
with Susan.
Susan's a good one. Yeah, Susan's a good one. Well, you said about listeners coming with a little bit of positivity, etc., and not just cussing. We got to talk about this Bruno Fernandes thing, bro.
Ruben spoke about it in his presser. Did you see what was said?
No.
So he was asked,
I did see that actually. Yes, I did.
He was
I
asked.
don't know.
He said, quote, I heard about that, but I have a different opinion. Bruno is really important for us in the club, especially for me. He's playing well in a difficult context. He always wants the responsibility. Now, obviously, the Roy Keane outburst, I did it this morning on the Morning View. A tough show. Because you know when you're going.
Wait, was you retracting things? Was you under pressure? And was you?
I was not. No.
Okay.
But it's just.
Did you have to clarify what you meant?
Sometimes you go into a live show and you go, it's going to be divisive. It's going to be divisive.
Yeah.
This one. This is there's going to be contrasting opinions. There's going to be some. I tell you what, Roy Keane, I totally agree. Others, Bruno's the least of our problems. Blah blah blah. I'm of the mindset, just to reiterate, that I use the analogy, the house is burning down, and discussing whether Bruno's leadership is effective is that like going, is this wallpaper good for this room? The house is on fire. We've got far bigger pressing issues to worry about than Bruno Fernandes. But others are of the mindset, like it always is, isn't it? Of no, you don't understand. You've got to look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture, Owen. Look at the bigger picture, because when he's gone, we will improve as a team. And that's exactly what we need. But as we have seen with your likes of your Andre Onanas, if we let go of Bruno Fernandes, that'd be one thing. But who do you replace him with? Because who you replace him with is equally, if not more important. Because if they're worse or they're not contributing what the person before was doing, you can suffer a lot. And that's exactly what we've seen.
I'd like to get involved here.
Get involved because you haven't spoken about
I love
this.
to get involved here. It's crazy.
Did you see what Roy Keane said, by the way? Did you watch it?
I saw him just going crazy. I've only seen
crazy. So you did see the clip.
I only seen I haven't seen the full length.
No, you probably don't. I haven't. You've seen it.
If you've seen that clip, the 4 minutes, you've seen it. You know, that's basically what it is.
So not a lead. Everyone's like, what, Roy Keane? Like they're getting crazy in that moment. Now
a bluffer.
It's hard here because it's a legend of the club. Like, and you never want to like shit on the tapestry of Man United. Like,
put it nicely, KG. Shit on the tapestry.
You can't. When you think of Roy Keane, you got to put him. He was
take a massive dump on it.
He was Fergie's leader on the pitch. That was Fergie on the pitch. I know it's crazy, innit? Look, putting those words together. But again, we've been nominated, so you have to use words like shit on the tapestry.
Oh wait, we haven't spoke about that.
We haven't even spoken about that. Hold on, wait a minute.
This is why we've been nominated.
It's the reason why we've been nominated for words.
Don't change it now.
Like
it's clearly working. It's clearly working. Wait there. This same show we're talking about in the same category.
Yeah.
We're with the overlap. We're with the overlap. How mad is that?
There you go. There you go. That's us.
Wait, we're there with TalkSport Boxing, Sky Sports Premier League. Steve, I didn't even know Stephen Henry had a YouTube channel, but he's one of the most legendary snooker players there's ever been.
Ever.
Maybe the most after like Parrot and what, I don't know. But Stephen Henry's up there. Obviously AFTV. And yeah, like Sky Sports Premier League is literally the thing that the highlights is on. How could we compete with that?
Complain with the matches themselves.
I can't
like the overlap.
We should be proud of ourselves, you know. This is pretty sick.
It's a joke. Cool.
Yeah,
like that, really. Let's just be real. Let's call it out. Yeah, this shouldn't be happening. This shouldn't even be like.
No, it should be.
It's crazy.
No, it
like. It just shows you.
We're using phrases like shit on the tapestry, right? And we're going up against the match highlights of like the Manchester derby.
End of the day, as I was saying about the tapestry, back to it. Roy Keane is a special player that played for this club, and he's at my greatest moments, he was a part of them. And when you talk about leading by example, that was somebody that led by example in his time there. Juve is something that comes to everyone's mind. He knew he weren't going to play, but he gave his all, you know. And in the final, he knew he wasn't going to play in the final, but he gave his all. Now, I can see how he looks at Bruno now and says, well, that doesn't fit what I went through. But then again, that era does not exist anymore. And I think what the old school Man United group, how they're speaking is they think their old team is still here. It's long gone. Like it's nowhere. You know when you say how the mighty have fallen, it's like people are still surprised that we've fallen. We're on the floor. What you used to know does not exist anymore. This is obviously a new United. It's not a better United. It's a worse United. But then there's some good things within the team. Who I see Bruno as a positive. I get people angry about that, but I think it's hard to find a player that really can wear the Man United shirt and it not be heavy. And Bruno has proven that in his time at Man United that other people have failed under the pressure. Yes, he's still got hard from it, still got dark from at moments, but he's wore the shirt better than many of players that have been here and wore the shirt. So I'm not shitting on this guy. That's my look of it. Like. And it's no, Roy Keane doesn't have to like him, but Roy Keane's last video is never going to be seen. The one when he's talking about players he's played with, you know, when he leaves the club, like that's still hidden from everyone. So
it's funny you bring that up because I thought when I was watching that clip of him on the overlap, I think that's probably quite close to what it was like that MUTV interview. You know what I mean? Because sometimes things get built up, and actually, if we probably saw it today, we'd actually probably be like, it wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? But I can see why. But I thought that because, like, when you saw the look, he had the death stare in his eyes. He was looking at Ian, right? And like the table's getting a bit uncomfortable. You know, it's like that one person at family dinner that really like goes mental when you go, all right, you know, you try and offer a bit of a joke and no, it's not really bouncing around that quickly. You go, no, this isn't going. But it was like,
girl.
Yeah, it was like that. No, I'm telling you, you're a bluffer. You go, it's only Christmas dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's getting over the top now, and you just have to just try and nip it in the bud. And basically, the real feelings came out of Roy Keane, where that's not the first time he hasn't been very glowing of Bruno. He always says, "Oh, do me a favor, this lot." He always does that one, but this one was full on. He let it all out. And obviously, right, he's poking him.
Apparently, he's chatting shit.
No, he doesn't.
He supports.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does.
He supports Man.
I don't think he does. You reckon?
He does. Brother,
I don't think he
feels
does.
Feels like that, and you don't support the club. Piss off.
No, I think that's because he's. I just think Roy Keane's, like you say, his thing is just so old school, and the standards are so high. All of this new school shit, like that's why he's interesting to listen to or entertaining, because he ain't got no time for none of it. Like, remember when the Rashford thing was happening, he was going, "Don't train properly, don't train." I know I'm on the overlap, but I'm not even talking about this. He doesn't train properly. He's training. He's not training properly. There's no training.
That's why he couldn't be probably a manager now. You know what I mean?
That's why
he's like, because he looks at he looks at the modern day pro and goes, I can't relate to that at all.
Yeah, like,
and to be fair, that's probably what, and that's why we like watching him and stuff like that, because it's kind of the same. We've had the same conversation going, can't relate to those guys, you know, and as fans, we're like a bit like that. You're getting paid a lot of money and you don't want to go training. You don't want to run in the game.
He don't want to hear. He don't want to hear any other. With the Rashford thing, he don't want to hear no other side of like unfairly treated, or maybe they promised him this, but he didn't quite get that, or maybe he got dropped when he should. He doesn't want to hear any other side of the story. He stops. Full stop. Wait a minute. Is that me or are you still here?
No, I'm still here.
Right. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, that's fine. Well,
we'll see.
Well,
we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Carry on.
I was going to carry on. Yeah.
No,
his point stops at the training. But what I would say about the Bruno thing, if I'm honest, I stand by my tweet. I said he's the most overhated player. Doesn't mean you don't get frustrated with him sometimes here and there, but he is the most overhated player. I don't get it. Like, I think in that position, yeah, you're talking about can you walk around and say, are you doing your job? Roy Keane talks about doing jobs all the time. Do your job. Do your job. Oh, no. Your job is to keep the ball out the back of the net. Stop pissing around with it. Do you do your job? No, you don't. Do you know what I mean? Xerxes, Højlund, Ahmad and Garnacho and all of our forward line, their jobs is to create consistently and score consistently. None of them do it. The defenders, Harry Maguire and Leacher or whoever, your job is to defend properly. More often than not, they're not defending properly. The wing backs, the full backs, whatever you want to call him, Dallo, you know what I mean, Masraoui, whatever, getting up and down. Are you doing your job? Are you creating? Are you efficient? Not really. Bruno's one of the only players in the team. And actually, you could add Ahmad into this because he was having a good impact in games, to be fair. When you say, what's your job? Hi, sir, Bruno Fernandes. What's your job? Score and create. I'm also captain, but, you score and create. Have a look. Well, you're doing your job. In a shit team. Now, that's met with, but we're 14th. So hold on. So when we finished second, when we finished third, was that all because of Bruno then? Was
when we won the FA Cup, when we won the Carabao
Cup? When we won the FA Cup final and he does the no-look pass to Kobe. What is it then? I want to know is what is that? Because Odegaard now, again, when you talk, I keep using him just as an example because he's like a good benchmark to use of how he's amazing because he's a great footballer. His technique's brilliant, keeps the ball really well, this, that, and the other. What's the biggest criticism that's been labelled at his doorstep? Now no one else is scoring in the team. Oh, he's the cat. This is just no. I need it from you. Where's the it factor? And if Bruno Fernandes, and this is what I finish on, if Bruno Fernandes played for Arsenal, and if Odegaard played for Manchester United, this version of it, who would look better? Who would come out on top? And I'm telling you now, Bruno Fernandes, if he played in that Arsenal team, would have these numbers plus more. If Odegaard played in this Man United team, there's no way he gets double figures, double assists for that amount of time. Doesn't happen.
And what we've seen with him, in fairness, is Bruno, and because I spoke about this morning too, that the goalposts have been moved an extraordinary amount of times for Bruno during the last 5 years to kind of sort of justify criticism of him. So when he first comes in, but that's just his stat padding flex. He just scores penalties. They're not real goals. Then that turns into, but he's basically playing up front. So he's not even really a 10. So you can't, again, those goals don't count. Then it turns into, Yeah, but it's just Hollywood passes, really. He doesn't really sort of contribute for the rest of the team. Then that turns into, yeah, but how much of a leader is he? I don't know about that. Then it turns into, yeah, you can't control games with him, though, can you? Can he play deeper?
I saw a possession thing. He's lost the ball how much 1,000 times. Go and get out of all the assists Kevin De Bruyne has got, go and get me all the crosses he's attempted. And tell me how many times he's probably give the ball away.
The one the other day, and I've been a critic of this. Him on set pieces, his set piece has been shit. Last 3 set pieces he's taken, we scored from them. So he's got this this knack for actually those criticisms. He'll always prove it wrong. He always will. Yeah. And I'm really not, especially where we are at the moment. I'm not wed to one player. This is the team. You know what I mean? Player FC. If Man United did decide, right, Bruno, we're going to move you on.
Then fine. Cool. I wouldn't say that's a monumental mistake. What are you doing?
No.
As long as you replace him with someone better.
But I just think it is wild to me that, you know, obviously where we are in the league, well, where we are in the league at the moment, plus stuff that's happening off the pitch, finances, like you said, players like, you know, if you want to criticize people, Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund, Andre Onana, those players, and we're focusing on someone that's actually, you know, contributing goals and assists. Is that really who we're homing in on? It's just that's bizarre. That is so bizarre.
He's the only one you can go and talk to him, like I said, and say, "What is your job?" Aye, captain. My job is to get goals and assists. Okay, let me have a look at this. Tick. You do your job, especially in that. I know people say it's not all about stats; it's eye test and that, because this is where you got to get. Yeah, but you're just using the stats to. What about all the times he gives away the ball and this, that, and the other? I understand. I get that. There's bits in Bruno's game that are not great. There's bits in Bruno's game where you go, yeah, we criticize it, but like the over hate of, like you say, he's actually garbage. He's trash. But then I'm seeing man with high socks, nice touch. Sancho's lauded. Lauded for being wicked. Just everything else is failing this brother. Odegaard is lauded at Arsenal. As soon as Saka's not there, I ain't seen him. I have not seen Odegaard this season when Arsenal really need him. I don't care about injuries. I don't care about unluckiness where they never bought a striker. No excuses, because look at our recruitment. Look at our football club. But his numbers ain't gone down. I don't want to hear that. James Maddison doing that at the beginning, first 3 months of his Tottenham career. This is why he's better than Bruno. Then what? Roy Keane's cussing him on the overlap. Cussing him.
Yeah.
So all these men get lauded.
There's lies about...
Yeah. Like,
about Bruno
I just don't
remember
get
Gary Neville?
Trash. I don't get that.
Remember Gary Neville? Oh, he wants to come off. Wasn't true. And then for some reason that stuck about him. And it goes back to, what do you define as leadership? You know, because that's kind of the thing he was saying in that too, is going, oh, you're with Tony Adams and all that. And you go, well, there's different methods of captaincy, isn't there? There's the captain that is, you know, the big, strong leader, you know, hard in the tackle, takes no nonsense. There's other captains that don't talk that much, but it's leading by example in terms of your professionalism and your performance on the pitch. There's some captains that's just, they don't even play every game, but they've been at the club for a long time. I look at Bruno, when you spoke about it with Kieran Maguire, when he was saying, well, when he found out those people had to pay for their tickets to the FA Cup final, he offered to pay for them, but the club said no. Or I look at Bruno and I go, how many times, with all of the people we've had having off the field problems at Manchester United, never hear about that with Bruno. Never hear about that with Bruno. Professionalism in terms of showing up, in terms of training, in terms of playing every single week. We criticize him because he plays too much. He plays too much. He plays too often. He's always starting. He's always available. That's a problem. That's crazy.
You know what? Yeah, you know when somebody's someone that divides opinion, when people get angry, when you actually give him ratings for how he did in the game. So that's all I saw. I saw like someone will tweet, "Oh, brilliant from Bruno today." See, you don't know ball. You tweeting that shows why you're stuck in this era and stuff. And said you can't even praise him. You actually can't even say,
"Not allowed." No,
good job today, Bruno. You can't say that. Like it's met with. This is the problem with their thingy fan base, and then you say he's overrated, and I say, well, okay, let's actually go into who's overrating him, because I know he's not rated by other pundits. Other fans hate him because he's like everything about Man United, and a lot of the fan base are divided on him. So who loves it? Who's the overrated by, or is he just rated by a few Man United fans? Because I don't see people queuing up to say Bruno's better than their players in their midfield. They're apparently Maddison's better. Odegaard's every midfielder in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's trash.
Is better
He's
than
just done.
Bruno.
Yeah,
When you
100%.
like, no matter what.
And
Like,
also
so then-
KG, yeah, the biggest thing is, people keep coming back with, well, what you look like, why you rated it with 14th flex. Shout out Aaron, actually. Big up Aaron. He came back to me. Aaron said on the thing, Aaron, big up Aaron's doing great things at the moment as well. Aaron went with 14th flex. But I said, yeah, we're also, everyone saw it as, oh, you haven't got Amarin's, but I was talking about the wider picture. I said, we're also 14th with the new shiny manager we wanted, the new football structure we wanted, the new players. We're 14th, like we're 14th for. So is Bruno the sole reason we're 14th? Because if that's the case, when we finished second under Ollie, when we finished third, and Bruno was putting up big numbers, was he the only reason we were second and third? Can you not answer me that? No,
when we won the FA Cup, when we won the
FA Cup,
when we got the Carabao Cup. When we got to Europa League final, that was,
and that's another thing. That's another thing as well. We and probably a lot of people who like dislike Bruno and call him rubbish, like you say, will also say, yeah, but Pogba's never. You know, you're not trying to make sure like it's not all pinned on Pogba, which I agree with, by the way. Said that many times. Make sure it's not all pinned on Martial. Make sure it's not all pinned on Sancho. So why are we trying to pin everything and Rashford? So why are we trying to all pin it on for pin Bruno then? What's going on here? What is going on here?
No, it's a perfect what's going on here, because I don't understand us. Like we didn't realize, and we all made mistakes, and we could put our hands up. I can put my hands up in this with David De Gea. Yeah, we like for so long, football's changed. It's moved on. You need a progressive keeper. You need a sweeper keeper, someone that can play the ball out, because this, that, and the other. How quick did we realize we'd rather start Bayindir? And we saw Bayindir's kicking. We saw the state of Bayindir's kicking in the first one.
I said, hell no, he can't play for us. I literally said he can't play for us ever again.
Terrible. There you go. No, but we saw how bad Bayindir's kicking was in one of these games, and we said it don't matter. Guess what he does more important than kicking? He kicks the ball out of the net. Now all of a sudden we're looking back and saying, missed that guy actually. And then people have done that with so many different players. When Bruno finally does like pack it in, is when we'll probably realize, you know what, we actually had something there that we probably would have taken for granted, you know, because somewhere else he wins stuff. People trying to tell me that Bruno wouldn't do well in a Ferguson team, but he took cleverly to a league title. How will he struggle with Bruno? Or is Bruno going to be wicked and not listen to the manager? You haven't seen that from him as a player. You know, so it's just, again, he's a divider of opinion. It's unfortunate because he's the face of the era. Yeah, unfortunately, he just has to wear that badge. It's like when Maguire had to wear it. He had to deal with it as well. Maguire was the face of.
Even that KG's hilarious because now this is how we're crazy as a fan base. Now he doesn't have the armband. People go Maguire. They go, yeah, he's a good leader. You go, you're not, because I'm telling you, when he had the armband on, he was a terrible leader, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But now because he doesn't have it, now he's a good leader, and he could. He go, come on,
now we still see he's got to go. Praise him. Yeah. Now we all got to praise him and say it was bang out of order how he was treated, but we all treated him like that. So it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like,
it's wild, bro. It's just listen. I think as long as you can speak on, no, absolutely not. As long as I just said my piece and that's it. As long as I think for me with Bruno, I think I find it quite easy. He is a Marmite player. I think you got to look at the things that he does really well and some of the things that he doesn't do so well. He's adapting. We're asking him to play as a 6. I'm seeing him go into the back 3 to go collect the ball. Man's still getting assists. I'm seeing him making 60 yards up and down, just putting it in. Man's still getting goals. Like, I just think no matter what chaos is going on at the club, which we could all agree, that's one thing that everybody can agree on. There's so many like what's that thing? Circumstances. What's that word?
Extenuating.
Extenuating and mitigating circumstances. Yeah. There's so many mitigating circumstances that you could label for any player to say like, this is why he's been bad, or the manager changes, the style changes, it's chaos, the recruitment hasn't been good, the scrutiny's too much, no one else is doing. There's so much caveats you can give to give someone a pass, but he hasn't needed any of them.
Yeah,
that's his job. He does his job.
It'll be like that. It'll be like that for his whole career at Man United. I'm really
past it.
That. But then this is the thing, when you get to be like, you get to have a peek behind and see how things are at Man United. And I'm telling you now, there's not a player in that dressing room that shows up in terms of like the community stuff and waits to the fans and shows that attention. You know, even there was that guy when he's speaking about to him, he had an interview after the Ipswich game, and he's like, you know what, thank you, Bruno. You always front and center, you're always here for us, this, that, and the other, and we truly appreciate you. And it's like, and he was a bit emotional about it, but he's that's someone that's, like, he's someone that is trying his best at the club, you know, and you might not like the way he goes about it, but I'll rather that than someone that's slagging us off, thinks they're bigger than the club, or acts just in a way that just makes the club look stupid. You've seen him do everything he can, and he's not yes, other players have played in other positions as well, but I'm talking like doing as much as he can in that he can,
even if it fails in that moment, like, he left it all out there. And look, again, people go, this is why the club's standards have fallen, and you're just praising effort, and you're just praising this guy, hot potato ball, grenade football, just throwing it away. Listen, again, like, people, the argument is that he will help, that if you replace him, you've got a player in there who will help you keep possession of the ball. How about if we get two other midfielders who do their job, someone like Bruno can thrive? Because before you went, KG, I was saying, or when you was gone, sorry, I was saying, like, you always use the Odegaard as just a good example, because obviously Odegaard's like so top, he's so rated, everything's so wicked, yeah. If Bruno played for Arsenal and Odegaard played in this Man United team, yeah,
finished.
Could Odegaard have the impact that Bruno's have, or would it just be keeps the ball well, keeps the ball lovely? Like, what would that stop us being 15th?
He doesn't complete 90 minutes. We're talking about a player that has to be taken off because when the shit gets too serious. Like, I've seen that guy go off many times. It's a surprise when Bruno comes off. Like, when the Bruno comes off, you're like, why has he done that for? I remember,
and every manager has done this as well.
And that, to be fair, that's probably one of the criticisms you would make, not necessarily of him, but as the club and the recruitment, that we're over reliant on him to the point that Bruno can have a bad game. Bruno can stink up the joint. We've all seen it, where you go, tell you what, Bruno's having one today.
100%.
But there's this reluctance to take him off because of what he has done in the past, and because he can play shit and still score and still assist. And you turn to the bench and you go, well, who else is going to do that? Who else is going to do that? Who else in this team, if they're even on the pitch, is going to do that? And there isn't a level of trust, because a lot of the players haven't done it as consistently as him, that they go, well, we've got to keep him onto the pitch. And sometimes he can stink up the joint for the entire 90. But it says a lot that, again, even in that situation, on his worst day, all of these managers would rather have him stinking up the joint than not be on the pitch, because they know he can still make something out of nothing and nobody else in the team can. That does speak volumes.
So remember at school, I'm going to take you back to something. At school, there was always that kid that was bad, and he might have a wicked term, and he gets like the golden badge or something. He gets like a well done, yeah? And all the other kids that have been consistent for a time, they always get overlooked. That's what it feels like with Bruno Fernandes at this thing. So we will go and point out that one player that had this little moment, or that player that's been, and you think, wait, someone's had 4 to 5 years of really showing up, and he's had his thingy moments, dips in the thing, but hasn't been like that. Hasn't been that bad student the whole time. But that one guy always gets lauded because you've made a difference. You've finally shown up in your career when you haven't. And then the consistent ones are looking around like saying, this is bullshit. This is absolute, like, what do I have to do to get acknowledgement? Because you're acknowledging that. Like, the people that you compare Bruno to, I never forget this show. When we was talking about, and I actually rate, I think what Josh Xerxes doing in the Man United shirt, he's really gone on leaps and bounds. But I never forget the show when we're saying Bruno's the most important thing we need to get rid of. And then I was like, but there's other players. And we even said that was like Joshua Xerxes versus Bruno or Onana. But he's the pro. Until we get rid of Bruno, that's when we're gonna go somewhere as a club. And I couldn't believe it. That show, I was just wow. I was like, but this is ridiculous.
That's when
was that you inside? Was that you inside that show? Yeah.
I said this is absolute bull. Like, and I was like, this is criminal. This is criminal. Like, that there's some people that even were saying at the time, Jadon Sancho would be better in this team than Bruno. When you had him here, he used to play for us. It's not like a theory one. Like, in no time. You know, like we're lying right now. We're just telling lies. Like, and the killer is we all know ball. And then Flex, you were brilliant on it when he said we laud tech more than effectiveness. Because I get it. There's some players that is like very techy and
they're nicer to watch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
brilliant.
And they're good footballers.
Brilliant.
These are talented players.
Brilliant. They're
players.
absolutely amazing. But guess what, man? When I need something. We need
just
games
need it.
about points.
I need it, bro.
Points.
Like,
Are you gonna get me points?
I don't need the
That's
socks
all
up. I don't need the nutmeg, and then you lose it. Or I don't need the nutmeg or I don't need the man fizz it into you, kill it dead. Touch, yeah. Touch, wicked, yeah. Wicked, man, yeah. Brother, cool. What? Where's?
Or touch with effectiveness, like your Dennis
Yeah.
Bergkamp. You know, people that have linked the both of them. Dennis Bergkamp, Dimitar Berbatov. There's players
100%.
here that's like, oh my God, you're doing
100%.
something. Eden Hazard, Salah.
Yes.
There's players that have this thing, but they're effective. I'm talking about you've got the first part of the ingredient, but it's lacking in the rest.
It's lacking
Pogba
in the most important.
As touching was effective. Pogba at time was touch with effectiveness.
Wicked.
But I'm
It was
talking
unstoppable
about
at times.
yeah, I'm talking about there's players that just tech, but then the other stuff's not there.
But then we said someone say like Pogba, what performances do we laud when he was most effective, i.e. when he scored goals against Manchester City in the Manchester derby? Like that, even that argument about Bruno is kind of bullshit because it's not let's pretend like Bruno hasn't scored really good goals or done unbelievable assists. Like we talk FA Cup final, no look pass, he knows Cobby's there, little touch. You know, goals he scored 25 yards out, free kicks. Even his free kick against Everton last weekend, it's a good free kick. Root his keeper the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what he does. Like he's always in that.
And that's where
Still
the Marmite
15th,
kicks in.
Still 15th.
And that's what I'm saying. And basically, we're 15th because of people like him who do
And
their
even
job.
that is bullshit. Even that, like, this is what I was getting this morning. They were like, because they go, yeah, but what's he won? And you go, or they'll go like, someone said, oh, yeah, but Steven Gerrard was like that. And he didn't, he won the Champions League. Bruno hasn't. And you go, okay, Steven Gerrard, he's not won a Premier League, so I guess he's not that good then, is he? If that's what we do, and they said, well, Steven Gerrard never made mistakes or very rarely made mistakes in his team. I went, Slippy G. We're saying Slippy never made mistakes. Or Highbury passing it back to Thierry Henry. I've seen him do that same pass a couple of times. Actually, I remember if you go back to England at the Euros 2004 against France, he does the same pass in that one, and they get a penalty actually. Or when it goes to Steven Gerrard against us, against United in that derby, I came on like half time. He was off like 30 seconds later because stamping on someone. So this is what you do when you do these weird like arguments when it's like, oh, but he's not won this. Zlatan's never won a Champions League. He was rubbish then, wasn't he, guys? He was rubbish.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, and even with the Gerrard thing, yeah, it's like also it's like, so you're saying he's better than Gerrard? I'm not saying that.
That's it.
Why is that? Like, what I'm saying is, why is
Gerrard being brought up?
Exactly. Yeah. In the context of Man United and saying he's rubbish, he's crap, he's this. Listen, when you start asking me about players from yesteryear, Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, there's not many in this whole new school football thing who even laced them man's left toe boot, mate. Like, let's not go there. So that is like a null and void thing. You know, basically based upon that, like they say, what's his name? Henderson, Jordan Henderson. Is better than Gerrard? Because he won the lot. He won the lot, mate, in a short space of time. He achieved more than Gerrard did. And he's better than him. That's what it means. It means Gigi Wijnaldum. It means fucking Fabinho and them, man. They are better than Steven Gerrard. Do me a favor.
By that logic, it's not true.
It's not true.
Stupid.
So,
I can't believe. Do you know what's
trying to say Bruno's better than Gerrard?
Well, you've got someone like Brian Robson. Brian Robson only wins Premier Leagues right at the end of his career at Manchester United. Was it last 2 years he wins Premier Leagues at Manchester United? I think he only won 2. He's one of our greatest captains of all time. Yeah,
ever.
But look, outside of that, wins 3 FA Cups. European Cup Winners' Cup, like not a lot. Few FA Cups and an equivalent of like a Europa League, basically. But we'll say he's our best captain ever, or one of, if not our best captains ever. So that whole thing, because throughout his career, he's not playing in a Manchester United side that's the greatest Manchester United side ever. It's playing for a Manchester side that's actually underperforming, but he's a shining light in a team that is still doing their best.
Anderson, mate. Anderson better than Bruno, mate.
Yeah, well, yeah. I tell you what. Well, Bebe, he's got a Premier League medal. So
Tom
That's what I'm saying.
Cleverley,
When people,
Bruno can't
that's
talk
funny.
Tom Cleverley.
When people say Bruno wouldn't play for Alex Ferguson and Anderson did, come on, guys. Like, not taking
Darren
the
Gibson
liberty
did.
here. Yeah, I know these players. Nick Powell and
Mad.
them, man, there. Like, I'm saying, and no disrespect for these guys that have played at the club. It just
great.
doesn't. The argument doesn't wash. Really,
Yeah.
it just doesn't. And people will now watch this and still be upset with everything that's been
I
said.
was just about to say that as we wrap up. I was just about to say, KG,
how dare you bring up Brian Robson?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're mentioning him side by side, and that's not the comparison. You weren't mentioning him to say, as a leader, he's as good as Brian Robson.
It's just saying that argument of like, well, what's he won, or this, that, and the other. Again, well, Brian Robson, for the majority of his United career, won some cups. Exactly like Bruno Fernandes, who has won some cups, and he'll probably be now with his new contract, United to close towards the end of his career. Who knows what he will achieve? But he's in a bad side, and just because you've got one good player, that's not enough, is it?
I really hope he wins that Europa League. I really hope he wins.
It won't be enough, KG. It won't be enough.
We've done that already.
I know. I understand where we are. I understand where we are as a club, and we go back and look at things and change our mind about stuff. So, like how people are like, you're talking about Rashi's career, and then in the end, you still say Rashi's had a good Man United career compared to other people. You can't say that to me. It's like when was it Phil Jones or someone that was talking about, well, look at my time. You're saying all this shit about me. Look at what my career means. Yeah, it's like my career
actually does have a Premier League.
You can't talk to me.
Johnny Evans, he's got 3 Premier Leagues. He's got a Champions League at Manchester United. So Johnny Evans is our best player, guys. Johnny Evans is our best player. That's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. But it's going to be. You can't. I don't think you're going to change people's minds on Bruno.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that wasn't even it wasn't even the aim. You can't because you can't. Yeah. My might mean just love or hate. As simple as that.
It's good to give our opinion, and if you want to cheer and praise the player, it's up to you. No one can stop you. Again, like it's similar with how people feel about the manager or certain players. It's up to you, bro. It doesn't change anyone's day, regardless. I've never seen people have opposing views on football, and then someone said an argument, and then someone goes, "You know what? You're right. I'm going to change how I feel about that." I'm waiting to see that.
Very rarely. Very rarely. It might happen. It might happen in time where you come back and go, "Oh, this is you's right about that, man. I fucking
Like he literally, like the last two games,
not him, though, not Bruno.
He's got player of the match from TNT, and okay, in a couple of them you can maybe make an argument. Maybe should have been Maguire, or maybe it should have been De Ligt or whatever. But he had a good case for both to be player of the match, right? People are angry. He got player of the match. People are angry. He scored.
Yeah, like, who should it be? Who should get it?
They're going. Bruno's got the player of the match. That's just wrong. You're going. What? He scored. He got like a couple of assists the other day. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we angry? Our players are actually doing all right. We're doing shit most of the time.
It's wild. It's wild. There you go, guys. Absolute mental. But we did it. Leave Bruno alone. There you go. That's our message. The Trinity podcast, episode 54.
Put that on the thumbnail. Oh my god.
Oh, absolutely. Oh no, that's what it is. There you go. Smash a like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. If you are new, it's the lead up to the FA Cup. We are the current holders. We want to stay in it.
But KG's killed us off. KG's killed us off.
Yeah, because he's not here, so we ain't really got much chance to stay in the competition. So,
Owen's
KG, hopefully you can send some judge.
That as well. Owen, you're gonna bring home the silverware.
I'm only a part of this because you're not here.
Match for you. Solo match for you. You're gonna do it, Owen. You're gonna do it.
There you go.
Happening.
And I tell you, I'm gonna be tired. I got Elimination Chamber than that before. I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be when we're going out. I'm gonna be cussing KG so much. He's gonna be in the cup.
I know you will be. I won't see how I'm gonna play now. Landing it up.
Right. Big up, guys. Right. I got to shoot. Listen, we are out of here. Take care. Peace. Boom.